Hi guys, in this section we're going to talk about the sheet feature, which is to style the actual page, the overall page borders and shapes and things like that. So we're on the sheet tab, which we can get to wherever we are by just clicking on the sheet somewhere. Oh, clicked on the wrong thing there. If you click on the sheet itself, away from any of the other page elements, you'll get to it. So again, there's a lot of overlap here, because when we're on the layout page, it's going to affect the layout page is quite a high level. So when we're selecting things on the layout section like the width and so on, it's the width of the whole site, and that changes lots of different settings. But when we're on the sheet section, we get an opportunity to tweak it even further. So we're on 1000 pixels, we get an opportunity to change that again, and there's some extra features here to trim the details. Like this radius feature will allow us to make the corners of the site, at the moment they're just sharp edges, so we can change these to like little rounded corners. If you watch this corner in the top right hand corner here, as I wave over different numbers, see it's also making a curve on the menu bar, so watch out for that. So a slight curve is absolutely fine for me, I think. That's cool. If you want to change the background color of your main site, then you use this fill option here, and that will change the background color of the actual sheet itself. The header, as you can see, is a separate color. I want to keep mine white for now, so I'll just click away from that. I'd advise against using the transparency feature, so I'd stay away from it. If you had a background image and use the transparency feature, you would be able to see the background image through the sheet. Bad idea in my opinion, because you want to have people's attention on the actual wording on the page and the images and so on, not looking at the background. I would encourage you to take a look at the border feature though, because that's the thickness of the border around the whole site. So to further differentiate between the background and the main sheet, you can have a border on there. So you can combine borders with these shadows. So if I just set a 1 pixel border, it might not look much when I first apply it, but if you combine that with a shadow is always a good idea. I think this has already got a mild shadow set, so if I wave over these other ones, it'll put a very small sort of shadow, you see, just in between the grey and the white. It kind of looks like it's sat on something, and there's different angles of the shadow. You can have it bottom left, bottom right. I'm always in favour of a more subtle type of shadow than anything. I think the original one was actually best for me, so I'll just leave that as it is. That margin feature there is going to let us increase and decrease the gap between the very top of the page, as we've done before, but by this time we should have already set that, so we just leave it as it is. I'll just click away so it doesn't save that. The padding feature does exactly what these little previews show you. They're going to create more padding in between. You see where I'm waving over these page elements? You see the orange line shows where that page element begins, and there is a little gap of white, which is sort of the padding, and if we increase that, it's going to kind of, it's like the walls are closing in on the little page elements. It squashes them all closer together like that. So I think mine looked absolutely fine as it was, so I'm just going to leave that as it was, but that may be suitable for whatever you're doing. Nothing much else to say about the sheet feature at the moment, so I'll move on.